Hello everyone and welcome to this Lucid Charts tutorial. In this session, we are going to start from zero and move step by step towards advanced diagramming. By the end of this tutorial, you will know how to create basic diagrams, flowcharts, mind maps, ER diagrams, UML sequence diagram, data link diagrams, AI generated diagrams, and collaborative team ready documents. Before we begin, let's understand what Lucid Chart is. Lucid Chart is a cloud-based diagrammic tool that helps you create structured visuals such as flowcharts, system diagrams, process maps, ER diagrams, UML diagrams, ORG charts, and more. It is built for clarity, precision, and documentation. Now, Lucid Chart and Lucid Spark are both part of Lucid Visual Collaboration Platform, but they are used differently. Lucid Chart is the best when you want structured diagrams. Lucid Spark is better when you want free-form whiteboard for brainstorming and early stage collaboration. So for today's tutorial, we are going to focus on Lucid Chart. Before we move ahead, let me quickly share you something exciting for anyone who wants to build real expertise in future of AI. If you want to go beyond basic AI tools and actually learn how to design, build, and manage intelligent agentic AI systems, then check out the Applied Agentic AI System Design and Impact in collaboration with Microsoft and Simplilearn. This is a 10-week live online program designed for professionals who want hands-on learning in multi-agent system, RAG, MCP, agentic frameworks, planning system, workflow automation, and AI product strategy. You will work with popular tools and frameworks like LangChain, AutoGen, QAI, N8N, Figma, Miro, LangSpit, Jupyter, GitHub Copilot, Pinecone, Postgres SQL, and more. The best part is this program is highly practical. You will learn through 40 plus demos, 10 plus guided practices, 7 hands-on projects, and 1 capstone project. You will build projects like a RAG pipeline with PDF retrieval, an agentic RAG router system, LinkedIn automation with N8N, a multi-agent workflow planner, and a GTM systems. After completing the program, you will earn a joint program completion certificate from Microsoft and Simplilearn, along with access to career support through Simplilearn's Job Assistant. So if you want to learn how to connect AI agents, automate workflows, build agentic systems, and understand how AI products are designed for real business impact, this program is a great place to start. Check out the link to find the course in the description box below and in the pinned comments. Now, before we start with Lucid Chart, here's a quick question for you to answer. In Lucid Chart, which diagram type is the best used to show entities, attributes, and relationship in database design? Is it a flowchart, mind map, ERD, or is it a UML sequence diagram? Let me know your answers in the comment section below. Let's get started. So to get started with Lucid Chart, just visit their website and there is a free sign up option you can click on and log in depending on your choice. So here you can see we can sign up for free, and either you can choose with Google, Microsoft, give your work email, etc. Once your account is ready, you will land on the document dashboard. This is where you can organize your work, you can create folders, manage your documents, open recent files, start from the template, import an existing diagram, or even begin with a blank Lucid Chart. So for the first tutorial, let's start with a blank document. So as you can see, we have templates and there is a built-in AI options, which we will get to it later. We have AI integrations, agile, etc. Now I want to create a new blank document for this tutorial. So I'll just go to new and create a Lucid Chart and blank document. Now once the chart is loaded, immediately I recommend you to rename your document. So let's say tutorial, and there will be an example of a lot of templates that you can use. Either you can go with a flow chart, mind maps, etc. It's an easier way. You can do it this way, or either you can drag and drop these shapes as your preferences. On the left hand side, we have the shape libraries. This is where you will find basic shapes, flowchart shapes, containers, mind maps, UML shapes, ERD shapes, and many more depending on what libraries you enable. At the center, we have the canvas. This is where we create the diagram. At the top, we have the formatting bar. This allows us to change the color, border, font, alignment, line style, shape style, and other design settings. On the right hand side, you may see additional panels depending on what features you are using, such as data linking, layers, comments, or even settings. Now let's start with the simplest action, which is adding a shape. So select whichever shape you want. Let me start with the basic. Just click on it and here you go. You will have the basic shape in your chart. Now here's what you can do with the shapes as well. Clicking on the blue part, you can resize this shape. Double click on the shape, you can rename the file, and using the form, you can change the color of it, thickness of it, And if you want to connect any other shape or diagram, you have 4 blue of the circles around. Just click on it and it will lead to the same thing. If you want a different shape to be connected, sorry, let me do that from beginning. So how do you connect this one and this one? There is a blue thing and here. So just connect it to here and it will be connected. Now again, the connectors also we can change the shape, size and color as well. So you have dotted line, double line, text fill. You can mark any kind of text inside the thing, and the size you can change it. And as well, colors are also is changeable, and the gaps and the kind of arrows that you prefer to use in this. Now, Lucidchart automatically creates a connector link between them. This is one of the most important skills in Lucidchart because almost every diagram is built from shapes and connectors. Now, do you notice that when I move the shape, the connector stays attached? This makes your diagram flexible. You can reorganize your layout without redrawing every line manually. Now, let's create our first project, a basic mind map. Now, firstly, a mind map is used to break a central idea into smaller connected ideas. It is useful for brainstorming, planning a course, organizing a project, or even explaining a topic visually. For our first project, we'll create a simple mind map around the topic Lucidchart skills. Now, as I told you earlier, there are templates which we can make use of. So, let's make use of the template and create. Now, here in the template option, you can see flow chart and mind map. So, since we are using a mind map, you can select that. You can search for all kinds of template and you can click on just use. So, it's taking some time. So, as you can see, we got a mind map loaded. Now, I'm deleting the ones which I don't want as elements in my simple mind map. So let's say I'm just deleting these extras. You can add however you want to. Don't require this as well. And here this one should go. So here, as you can see, we have the main idea. So you can change again the shapes, colors are changeable. So I'm just creating one more here because I need one more skill. Total 4 skills is what my mind map should look like. And from here, I need to connect it. Ready? This is the connector box. So now I have 4 branches. Now be careful when you're creating a mind map from scratch from the shape. A good mind map should be easy to scan. Keep the central idea in the middle. Keep the main branches clear. Use smaller branches only for supporting details. Now let's format the connectors. Now as I told earlier, the main idea will be Lucidchart skills. And then what are the main 4? Let's say a basic shape. And then we have resize options. What are the next 2? Text and connectors. Now let's say the first skill is basic shape. Now under this, I want to have 3 of the skills, which is resize, text and connector. So I'll just drag and drop the shapes now. I'll just reduce the size and increase and first skill is resize. I'll reduce the font size and then reduce the size and place it. We'll connect this later. Now I want similarly 2 more of them. So as you can see, you can place it exactly in the middle. It's showing the number, how much distance is there. Now we have text and connector. Now you just need to connect these to this. So as you can see here and here and we have connected to basic shape. Now under flowchart, we can add the second skill, which is flowchart. Under here also you can add multiple things like process, decision, start to or end. The next skill will be data linking. So you can add data linking here. And the last one will be sharing. Now a basic, if you add the subcategories of all these things similarly, how I've added to a basic shape, your mind map will be ready to use. Now again, the connectors can be formatted as shown before. You can increase the size, change the color, make it colorful, make it easy to read basically. And there we have our first Lucidchart project, a simple mind map. This may look basic, but it teaches the foundation of almost everything we will do later. Shapes, text and connectors, formatting, alignment and even structure. Before we move forward, remember this simple Lucidchart diagram are not just about adding shape. They are about making information easier to understand. Now that we understood shapes and connectors, let's move on into one of the most common use cases of Lucidchart, which is the flow. A flow chart is used to explain a step-by-step process. It can show how a customer request moves through a company, how hiring process works, how payment gets approved, or even how a software system makes a decision. Flow charts are powerful because they make process visible. Now again, I'll be using a template because that is much more easier. The first one is a flow chart. So I'll just use, for this project, we will be building a hiring process flowchart. We will use a standard flowchart shapes, format them professionally, and add a diagramic key. Now here I'll search for an appropriate flowchart because this is not what I'm you looking at, have an idea of. So let's say flowchart. So you have multiple flowcharts, and let's say I want this. I'll have more yes or no questions. So it is mostly two divided, and I think that will be the best option for us. So I'll be going with these and use. Let's first delete this and use this. So as you can see, all the things are here. We just need to edit them. If you want this division and all, you can keep it, else you can remove it, etc. So the first step in action is the candidate applies. Now let's create a professional flow chart for the hiring process. The first action you will be seeing is the candidate applying. So here we can change the action as candidate applies for the job. So I'm just zooming in. Okay, on are the caps. Let me just fix that. Candidate applies to the job. What after that? Here our process begins when the candidate applies. The second step of action will be to review the resume. So review resume. Next, the hiring team reviews the resume. This is a process step. So we use a rectangle or any kind of shape that suits your information. Now here there is a condition. I want to add a condition. So let me just add a condition. So I'll just drag this down and I'll be adding. And here I'll be adding a shape. So we'll go back to the shapes. And I'll use a similar shape to the ones already existing. And I'll put it here. I'll obviously connect it. And then if it meets criteria. If the person is actually meeting the criteria. So from this, I am connecting to this. So as you can see, I'm just going to remove the behind one. So I'll just delete this, put it back here. Again, you can rearrange it and it is done. Put it back. Now, if the condition fulfilled, yes or no, this will be the flowchart. This again, you can delete it because we are not requiring any additional branches. So you can just delete these. So just delete the unwanted things. We have yes or no, and as you can see, the yes one turned green and the no one turned red. Now we need a decision point, a diamond representation, a question or a condition. In this case, we are asking, does this candidate meet the criteria? If the answer is no, the candidate receives a rejection email. If the answer is yes, we arrange the first interview. So no here is receiving the email, rejection email. So let's just put rejection email. And if it is yes, first round of interview. Now, after the interview is cleared, I'm going to add one more, which is if the interview is cleared. Again, we need a yes or no. So I'm just going to Control C and I'm going to paste one here and I'm going to attach it here. And similarly, attach it here. Go down. And so before this, I need one more box, which is if the interview cleared or not. So I'm going to add again the same shape and I'm going to say interview cleared, question mark. And this one, I'm going to reconnect it to here and drag this back. And this one, I'm going to connect it here. And I'm just going to change here. I'm going to put it up and I want to connect it from here. And let's make this straight. And I need a no as well. So I'm just going to copy paste it and connect it. So what are the sequences if the interview is cleared or not? Now instead of formatting every single shape one by one, you can copy and paste it. That will save us a lot of time. And it will be consistent across the entire flow. Now again, you can say if the interview is cleared, second round of interview will go. If not, again a rejection email will be sent. Use distribute vertically, straighten the connector lines. A professional flow chart should be easy to follow, keep your shapes aligned, keep spacing consistent, and avoid crossing lines whenever possible. And now, if you complete the entire process of second round, third round, etc., your hiring process flow chart will look clean, structured, and ready to share with the team. Before we move for more advanced features, here are some useful flowchart habits. Always ask yourself, can a new person understand this process without me explaining it? If your answer is yes, your diagram is doing its job. Now that we built diagrams from scratch as well as from using the flow charts, let's use some advanced features. Lucid Charts gives us multiple ways to create diagrams faster. We all already know that templates are more faster. Mermaid allows us to describe diagrams using text. Instead of dragging every shape manually, we write the structure and the Lucid chart generates the visual diagram. This is very helpful for developers, technical writers, product teams, and anyone who wants to move quickly from the text to the diagram. Here we have a complete flow chart created from a few lines of text. So let's see. Request valid, approve request, and send confirmation. If not, ask user to correct details. Start, submit request, system validates the request. If yes, it will approve the request. If not, ask the users to correct the details. This is especially useful when you already know the logic of your process. And this is how you generate a diagram with Lucid AI. Now let's try another one. Request, which is create a customer support ticket resolution flow chart. And I've given information such as include ticket received, priority check, assign alignment, investigate issue, resolve issue, customer confirmation, and close ticket include the decision points of high priority and issue resolved. So if I give this in a few minutes, I'll have the entire flow chart for myself. The AI generated diagram gives us a starting point. You should still review it, clean it, and customize it. Think of AI as a fast first draft, not the final diagram. So when we look into that, we have the tickets received. Just cross check if this is what you wanted. If there is any changes, you can ask the details to be changed here itself in the chart and it will do the changes. Now let's talk about layers. Layers are useful when you want to show different version of a diagram without creating multiple separate diagrams. For example, you can use one layer for current process and another layer for the future process. Now as you can see, I've searched for data layers or normal layers and you can use anything according to here. I'm using a normal layer. So the first one will be for the current state and the second is for the future. Put the shapes on the current layer. Add improvement steps on the future layer. Toggle layers on and off. This is useful when you are presenting processes improvements. You can first show how the process works today and then turn the future state layer into show the inapproved version. Next, we have conditional formatting. Now let's look at conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is automatically changes the style of the shapes based on the rules. Now when you click on conditional formatting, if you give any kind of condition, here you can create a rule such as if the shape text contains decision, if the shape types is decisions, apply red or fill the border. Alternatively, create a rule for text containing approval, add a green checkmark icon, etc. So here we can select a different style as well and give it a theme or any kind of rule for it. This becomes very powerful when your diagram is large. Instead of manually checking every shape, you can just let formatting rules visually highlight important information. The next part is external data and importing. We have another option called data linking here. One of the best things about Lucidchart is that you do not always need to start from scratch. If your team is already has diagrams in other tools, you can import them into Lucidchart. So how do you do that? When you go back to here, add new, and here you can see folder. You can attach the similar folder that is already been created by your, or even you can import the document or enter the join ID, etc. This is useful when a team is migrating from another diagramic tool or when you receive process documentation from another department. Do not upload sensitive files, use sample file if available. For a real project, you would select a file, upload it and then review the imported diagram. After importing, always check the layout, text lines and shapes formatting because diagrams can look slightly different after moving between tools. Now coming back to data linking. Data linking allows you to connect spreadsheets, data, diagrams, shapes. This is useful for organizational charts, inventory diagrams, process maps, project dashboard, architecture diagrams or any other visual that needs live business data. Now let's say import the data. For this, you need a pro subscription of this. So you can just connect your data and then map it according to your requirements. Here you can simple spreadsheet with process steps, owners and status. We can bring this data into Lucidchart and connect rows to shapes. Import the sample data, drag a row from the data panel into the shape, show the data fields attached to the shape. Display the owner and status as visible fields if possible. Once the data is imported, you can just drag a row onto a shape. Now that the shape is connected to the data source, this means the diagram becomes more than just a drawing. It becomes a visual representation of the actual information. You can also combine data linking and conditional formatting. For example, if the status is done, we can show a check mark. If it is pending, we can show a clock icon. If it is blocked, we can highlight the shape in red. When working with linked data, always remember to refresh or sync with the data source before presenting so the diagram reflects the latest available information. Now we are moving on to more technical diagrams. This section is especially useful for developers, database designers, software architecture, system analysts, and technical project teams. We will know what entity relationship diagram and UML sequence diagram are. An entity relationship diagram or ERD is used to visualize database structure. It shows entities, attributes, and even relationship. Let's take an online store as an example. An online store usually has customers, products, orders, or even order items. Now here in shapes, you can search for So here you have the multiple that are matching. Now here we'll create 3 of the entities. So I'm taking key field entity. So let's just say this is customers and the key field will be customer ID, and then let's resize it according to the size that we want, and here it will be name and then email. You can add their phone number as well. The customer entity stores the information about each customer. Customer ID is unique identifier. Name, email and phone are attributes. Now, similarly, you can create another one which is like order and have the columns as order ID, customer ID, order date, order status, or total amount. The order entity stores order level information. Notice that customer ID appears here too. Now, if you create the similar one to the order ID, the customer ID, which is a unique identity, also appears in that column as well. That is how the order connects back to the customer. Now, similarly, you can create the products and connect it as well. The product entity stores product details such as name, category, price, and stock. Now, then you can create the fourth table called as order item with the columns such as order item ID, product ID, quality, quantity, unit price. The order item table connects the order and the products. This is important because one order can contain many products and one product can appear in many different orders. Add relationships and cardinality. Now, keep in mind, a clean ERD helps developers, analysts, and database teams to agree on how information will be stored before the actual database is built. Export the ERD to database code. Lucidchart can also help export ER diagrams into database code. Depending on your plan and setup, you can generate SQL, create statements from your ERD. This is useful when you want to move from visual design to implementation. This completes the ERD part. Now, we are left with the last important one, which is UML sequence diagram. A UML sequence diagram shows how different participants communicate over time. It is commonly used in software design to explain interactions between users, systems, APIs, databases, and services. Now, again, similarly, we have a UML node. You can just drag and drop or click on whichever is applicable for you. So let's say this one. Lucidchart can generate sequence diagrams from text markup. This is faster than manual dragging each lifeline and message arrow. Now here also there are multiple components like loop, connectors, etc. You can actually start practicing with a smaller one and develop your projects. Now that we know how to create diagrams, let's talk about collaboration. In real work, diagrams are rarely created by one person alone. You may need feedback from managers, developers, designers, operation teams, clients, and even stakeholders. Lucidchart supports real-time collaboration, comments, sharing, publishing, and integration. Now here we have presentation builder. You can share it via your recording, and there is inbuilt teams collaboration that you can invite people into. You can just add your team or workspace, and other people can give a feedback for the same chart that you're looking at. It will require a few permissions as well. If you need to share the diagram outside Lucidchart, you can export it. Common options include PDF, PNG, JPEG, and SVG. So here you can just download this. So you can actually invite the group here. There will be an option of downloading. Publishing is useful when you want people to access a diagram without editing the original file. Depending on the options you choose, viewers can access published version or download an updated copy from the same shared link. Microsoft Team integration is also one of the highlights of Lucidchart. Inside Microsoft Teams, you can add Lucid document as a dedicated tab in a channel. This allows the teams to open and collaborate on the diagram directly from the Teams. This is helpful for process reviews, system design discussions, and even documentation reviews. The diagram stays close to the conversation, which improves collaboration. Depending on your organization setup, you may also be able to use Lucidchart during meetings so the participant can discuss and collaborate visually while the conversation is happening. At this point, we have created diagrams and learn how to share them with others. This is where Lucidchart becomes more than a diagrammatic tool. It becomes a shared visual workspace for team communication. And that brings us to the end of this complete Lucidchart tutorial. Today we start from basic and slowly build our way to the professional and technical diagrams. We learned how to use shapes, connectors, text formatting, flowchart symbols, diagram keys, AI features, data linking, ER diagrams, UML sequence diagrams, sharing, collaboration, and productive shortcuts. Most importantly, we build real projects along the way: a basic mind map, a hiring process flowchart, an online store ERD, and UML sequence diagram. So now you're not just familiar with Lucidchart, you actually know how to use it for real work. Before you leave, here's a small task for you. Open Lucidchart and create one simple diagram from your own work on daily routine. It could be a study plan, a hiring process, a website workflow, a database design, or even a simple mind map. The more you practice, the faster and cleaner your diagrams will become. If this video helped you, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who wants to learn diagramming, and also subscribe to Simplilearn for more practical tutorials like this. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep learning with Simplilearn.